Everyone talks about the 21-day rule, but almost no one explains why those 21 days feel so difficult. If you've ever tried to break a bad habit or build a better one, you've probably given up before reaching day 21. So the real question is, was the problem you or your brain? The truth is, your brain doesn't hate change. It simply loves familiar pathways. Every time you repeat a behavior, your brain makes that pathway stronger, faster, and easier to follow. Eventually, that pathway becomes your brain's default choice, even if it's the worst habit you have. That's why breaking a habit isn't like stepping off a highway. It's like building an entirely new road from scratch, and your brain naturally resists that process. This is where the famous 21-day rule comes in. Contrary to what you see all over the internet, your brain doesn't magically reset after 21 days. But if you consistently repeat a new behavior during that time, your brain slowly begins strengthening a new pathway while relying less on the old one. So why are the first days so hard? Because your brain is still expecting the rewards it's always received. Every notification, every short video, every endless scroll releases a small amount of dopamine, training your brain to crave instant gratification. When you suddenly remove those rewards, your brain reacts as if something important is missing. That's why reading, exercising, or even focusing for a few minutes can feel much harder than they actually are. But that feeling doesn't last forever. Every time you resist the urge to go back, the old pathway becomes a little weaker and the new one becomes a little stronger. You may not notice the change today, but your brain is learning with every repetition. Eventually, the behavior that once felt impossible starts to feel natural, not because you suddenly became more motivated, but because your brain accepted the new pathway. So maybe the real question isn't whether the 21-day rule is true. Maybe the real question is whether you're willing to keep going long enough to give your brain a chance to change.